Yeah, man, today we sitting down with one of the coldest, I mean, got substance when it comes to songwriting, been listening to his music for, man, he's been controlling the underground scene. If you know, you know. We sitting down with Young Jones today, man. What's up, Young Jones?
What it do, man? I appreciate you having me.
Oh, man, chilling,
Sure.
man. So who is Young Jones, and how would you describe your journey in your own words?
I would say I'm the epitome of overcoming all the obstacles, which everybody got obstacles in life, you know what I'm saying? But man, that's just me, you know what I'm saying? I am a workhorse, a powerhouse in myself, you know what I'm saying? But
In that journey, when you say obstacles, describe an obstacle you went through. Like, what type of obstacle?
man, prison, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the main obstacles. You be in and out of jail. There's just so many, man. But being a nigga in the system, you know what I'm saying? That's one obstacle that holds a lot of us back.
So you grew up in the system, like going in and out of jail, in trouble, and things like that?
Yeah, I was always in some shit. You know what I'm saying? I was always in some shit, and I had to slow down. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you start, like, telling yourself, yo, I got something in this music. Maybe this music can change my life. Like, when did you start feeling that? Was it in jail, sitting up one day, or was it?
No, I was like 19. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, and I was just like, man, I gotta do something with it. You know what I'm saying? It's because I was always, freestyling, beating on tables in school all the time. You know the whole spiel. A lot of people started like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody remembers the first rap they wrote. Like, describe us that day of the first rap that you wrote.
I was at my partner house and he was just making beats. You know what I'm saying? And
Which
I
partner was that?
His name was Jared.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I can't remember what they used to call him. But he was producing for Loud Noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And shit, I was like 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in high school.
No, for
And
sure.
they would always hear me freestyling in the hallways and like I said, at the lunch table. And shit, we just went over his house one day and I was like, fuck it, let me try to write this down. You know what I'm saying? Let me try this writing music stuff out. And shit, after that, they was like, man, you can freestyle and you can write, so you might as well try it on out. And so I slowly progressed. I took my time with it. I didn't really just hit the studio hard all the time. I was still in the streets. I was still doing this, doing that, everything under the sun. So I wasn't really focused on just writing and getting, completing the actual project. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't even remember the first song, the first rap I ever wrote. You know what I mean? 'Cause I got so many. You know what I'm saying?
So your debut album was Traffic Black Friday, is that correct?
Yeah, it was a pre-album though. You know what I'm saying? It was like just something, just something for me to put out for the people to have. You know what I'm saying? And actually hear.
What was the inspiration behind it?
Me always being in traffic, having shit on sale, that hints to Black Friday, you know what I'm saying? But I also always drop them Black Friday projects on Black Friday, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Except for that pre-album was the first one I dropped at like February 2010, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was a pre-album, so it was like, let me kind of get them up to speed of what I've been doing for the last few years. A couple of them songs on that project was old, and a couple of them was new.
So you went from Traffic Black Fridays to Lemon Water. Is that correct? Was that the next series of the follow-up, Lemon Water?
Actually, the 1000 series.
The 1000 series
was the follow-up But those were on, I never put them on distribution sites. You know what I'm saying? I always had CDs on hand. Like I would keep a trunk full of CDs. Like, so you got the pre-album, and then I dropped a collective project called I Grind with J. Poe. He hosted it. DJ Drummer Boy, he did the mixing, you know what I'm saying? The everything on that. And I dropped a couple projects in between before I actually dropped my album on Black Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And that was just,
Now, if I can remember, when I first started like really hearing your name, you was running with Chop Chop.
Yep, that was the Sav Squad.
Sav
era,
Squad.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Explain that relationship.
so how that came about, I used to record with Chase D, Block Froze. And I was just always over there. I always run into him. I never really went to any other studios but that one. You know what I'm saying? So I would be in and out of there. So there's times I go pay for a session just to watch him mix, and I soak up all the game that he taught me how to mix him. He really taught me the whole Pro Tools game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just in the midst of that, we passing each other, rubbing shoulders, everything like that. He reached out to me because he was part of PTH. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And he reached out to me after Young Savage died. Was like, man, I like how you operate, bro. I'm gonna start this group called Sav Squad. I want you to be a member of it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right. At the time, I'm like, cool. Now I can feel like I actually belong to something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Outside of me being.
That was the first team that you hooked up with?
Yep. That's really like the first. I ain't never really have been with a group. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It was 8 of us. It was 3 artists. It was me, Chop and Dirty. Then you got 3 DJs. That's Grind Daily, Poe, and Drummer Boy. And then we had 2 producers, Rich Kid and Chase D. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
So,
rapping and doing your thing in the Oklahoma City hip hop scene, explain that grind, to the outside cities that's looking in. Like, explain to us the type of grind that of Oklahoma City, like, the things you had to go through.
Man, it's a whole lot of politics and bullshit in the Oklahoma City music market. And I'm speaking on then. It wasn't as bad then because there was a lot more unity back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays it's politics. It's a lot of beef. It's a lot of underlying hate going on with a lot of artists. You might fuck a nigga baby mama or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now nigga don't like you, or nigga don't want to do no song with you. But the thing about that,
it was like that back then too.
Yeah, it was. But now, back then we didn't have Instagrams, social media platforms for people to go express their feelings. You just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You run into them in traffic somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Run into them at ICE or what's that place? One place I used to perform at all the time before I even put a CD out. Bora Bora. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you just had to run into people at shows and all that to really, But just besides the point, it's just a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of getting, offered situations that don't amount to nothing. Or
what's some of the challenges you faced?
It was really getting on certain shows. That was my thing. I really didn't care. I cared about my craft, but at the time, I really didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I wasn't that serious. I was just dropping a project and doing music. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really focus on the business part of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was my challenge, was getting the business set up right, getting on the right shows and get the right exposure. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just that was my thing. It really wasn't a lot of management available to a lot of artists, because of a lot of the managers that were dealing with people already had their hands full with certain shit. So that just goes back to getting shows, getting booked for certain shit, interviews, radio promo. And the radio, it really wasn't that bad, because Super Cool, Super Cool fuck with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he do.
He
Shout
actually,
out to Super Cool.
He was actually one of the first ones I ran into. Like, hey, come to the radio station, bring your clean music. I'm gonna put it on there. You don't gotta worry about paying for nothing, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But as time progressed, those were the obstacles. Like, getting on shows, they charging $1,500, $2,500 for you to perform in front of certain, I done performed this in front of so many people. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, because I know it's a lot of talk online. Been reading a lot of people talking about this on the Reddit shops, the Reddit sites, and all that type of stuff. So how do you feel about all this back and forth about the Oklahoma legends? And I'm gonna say it in a question like this: from you seeing it from right now, do you see that they giving back? Because I read a post. I don't have to say the name, but the post was like, a lot of the legends ain't giving back and things like that. Do you see it like that, or do you see a different angle of that?
I mean, I see it like that, you know what I'm saying? But I also see a different angle as well, because, man, at the end of the day, people gonna do what they wanna do. You know what I'm saying? So, from people on the outside looking in, as far as who legends are, what they do, or what they should be doing, I mean, that's up to them if they want to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we ain't even gonna stay on that, because I think it's weird to just how we having a talk about Oklahoma legends. You know what I'm saying? How is that a conversation? It's kind of like, even feel weird that we have it, because I just feel like it's a lot more grinding to do. It's a lot more grinding.
There is, because Oklahoma, like, believe it or not, even though we got a basketball team that brought a lot of exposure to Oklahoma, it's still like a seed deep market. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And and nobody really made it to that platinum A-list level market yet. And to really the only person, there's only a few people I could name. And I don't really like even name dropping like that.
Yeah, we ain't got a name drop like that.
But there's a few people who got, Grammys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nominated for BET, certain shit where that would classify them as a legend, but a lot of people don't even speak on them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even put them in the category of the legends.
No, for sure.
I think, what the thing was with that was the homie who put the show together, he just handpicked who he felt like was hit legends to him.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what created the whole conversation of who are these, they not legends. Yeah.
And that's like somebody making a top 10 rapper list. Everybody got the right to their own opinion. If that's his legends and he looked up to him, let him have it, basically.
Them as his legends. A couple of them might have been his homeboys, you know what I'm saying? They might not be legends, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where the controversy and the conversation come in with a lot of people.
I think it was good marketing, though.
Yeah,
I think it was good promotion, led to a good discussion,
It did.
Yeah.
But, then a lot of people is like, well, why you don't got this person on there? Why you didn't put him on there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why you didn't? But where the conversation gets misconstrued about the whole legend shit is basically, he threw a show and picked who he wanted on the show and called it Oklahoma Legends. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's like me throwing the show and I pick who I want to be on the show, and they might get mad at me because they didn't get picked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
and that's why a lot of the artists who are saying, "Oh, I'm a legend, I should have been on the show," get to talking bad, doing all that shit. I really don't care.
And that's exactly what it is. You know, if you think you need to be on the show, go make your own legend show. You know what I'm saying?
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
prove you a legend. You know what I'm saying? Don't just talk about it. You know, prove you a legend, man.
And then a lot of artists, they don't even have like no recent projects out.
Yeah.
If so, nobody really knows. You know what I'm saying? Or nobody ain't heard from them 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of like, and I know people do music, and I know you coming up in music. If I was gonna say something, it'd be like, you know, if somebody was to walk up to me and say, "Bro, you're a legend," you know, I'm gonna say, "Nah, my brother." You know what I'm saying? I'm still grinding. I appreciate that, but at the same time, a legend to me are the people I look up to, and they might not even be rappers, but they old school, and they had that long money.
Yeah.
They've been taking care of the community for a long time. They help other people come up.
Right.
Not just to them. To be a legend of a state or a city, you know, you go around the town, you know, the Jay-Z's, the Slim Thugs, in Dallas, the Big Tuck and all them, they can call them legends because they gave back to their hood. They brought the money through. Because you in the entertainment, it's about some money.
Yeah.
We want to see some money.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So I just look at it like that, though. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're 100% right. And what I'm going to ask on that is, throughout everything, what drives you to keep creating music?
It's a release for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's therapy for myself. You know what I'm saying? Whether I make it or not ain't really just something like back in the day. That might have been something that I was shooting for. You know, me a millionaire. I'm gonna be the best thing in the city. You know what I'm saying? But it's the market. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
So what drives me now to keep doing music is hopefully somebody will come in and actually see the real talent versus the gimmicks, and kind of weed out everything. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of artists who they just rapping to be, you know what I'm saying, for the gimmick. And,
for the gimmick.
And it's not, and you know, you look into him like, oh man, he ain't never, you know what I'm saying? He never been in the street like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody to judge whether you have or haven't, but
if you rapping like that, we like to hear substance.
yeah, they want to
from that
actually
era.
Understand what you talking about. You know, some people, they just put it together, it sound good and cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
No,
it
sure.
should take a little time. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, how do you balance being an artist in your personal life?
You know what? To be honest, I don't. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It all goes together. You know what I'm saying? Because my personal life is a part of my artistry. You know what I mean? My life experiences is part of my artistry. So you can be an artist one day and be this nigga one day, or you can just mesh it all together and just keep shit going consistently. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I try not to separate them. For like my kids and stuff, that's separate. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like day to day and everything, like I still
That's
gotta.
your life. It's a
I have to,
lifestyle.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's pretty much a way of life. So.
And now, what could the fans expect from you, like in the near future? What projects are you working on and things like that right now? You just dropped something, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I ain't dropped a project in like 2 years.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
we still banging your shit on YouTube and everything. Yeah. Tell us about the project you just dropped.
The project I dropped is called What I Know. Pretty much what I did with that was take some songs that were significant stamps to me. Not, I didn't really ask for feedback. I just went through my archive, my hard drive, and put some songs from like 2018, 2019, some shit people really, that never went on a project, but it was a song people know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Then I mixed it with a couple other songs, and it was just to get them back up to speed of, how I am, what I do, how I sound, etc. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. And where can they get that at right now?
Man, it's on Apple Music, Spotify, it's on all platforms. YouTube Music, pretty much everywhere, anywhere. Appreciate it.
All right. I know we coming down to the end of this interview, but before you get out, we got a couple of fun questions we want to ask you. First of all, any artist living or deceased, who's at the top of your bucket list to work with?
Local or
Around the
any
world, any artist, anything.
Jeezy is one of them for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's what I grew up on that. You know what I mean? I grew up on the Trap or Die. You know what I'm saying? That'll be my first one I would want to work with. Second, I wish I could work with him, DMX, because that was another artist I used to really listen to when I was younger. And third, Jay-Z, as far as like from a business standpoint, because he's always been a good businessman that you know what I'm saying? Like people know. No, like whether you think he can rap or not, it don't matter. He always progressed in business.
No, for sure. Now, what's a fun fact about Young Jones people don't know?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know because I put my life into my music. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. So they know. If they listen to the music, they gonna know.
They'll know. Like he done been through some downs. He done been through some ups.
Well, let me ask you this: outside of music, what are some of your hobbies and interests? Like, what do you like to do when you get away from the music?
Working.
You
got to keep some money coming in because, like I said, a lot of people think the music is the industry that just automatically generates money, and it don't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to make those sacrifices. Sometimes you gotta have some hustle behind the scenes, just to keep shit afloat. You know what I mean? So that's one of my hobbies is just working and staying out the way, keeping my mind focused and keeping my mind busy.
Well, shit. We at the end of this interview. Is there anything you want to tell the people, shout outs or anything? This is your chance right here.
Shout out to God first and foremost. Make sure you go look at Young Jones. Look up Young Jones, YUNGJONES. My most recent project is What I Know. Is What I Know, but the no is K-N-O, not with a W. 1000.com. You want to get some merch? I always got that on deck. You know what I'm saying? That's also one of my hobbies too.
Oh, we gotta plug 1000. Now hold on. Besides the music, you are a fashionist. We need to talk about 1000 clothing.
And like I said, that's one of my other hobbies. To stay afloat. I gotta keep something going on all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How can we get some 1000?
We can go to the website 1000.com, TENHUNID.com. Check. Inventory, I update it every day. So if something new drop is going on there, if your size is not on there, just hit me directly and we can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty much, if you got some 1000, you had to get it from me. Like I don't sell it nowhere else. It's out the trunk or off the website, which is the same thing.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Hustlers are like. That's why, I love to talk to the hustlers, man. You get motivation, you get to learning all type of shit. Well, thank you, Young Jones, for coming through, man. We appreciate you. This ain't our last interview. We're going to damn show give the people a part 2 coming soon, and we out.
Yes, sir. Salute.